59.07. I mean, it's sort of interesting. We got major news tomorrow, PPI, and tomorrow's a warning day, so I'm really trying to lay back. Tesla keeps running up to 350, pulling back, 350, pull back. That's very interesting. It's working off a lot of resistance up there, it looks like. Wouldn't surprise me to see it break out at some point from there, 350. But looking at the market and looking at where we are, I think that it's safe to say that I think tomorrow, after we get past a couple what I call warnings out there, tomorrow's a warning day. I've identified as a warning day on Thursday. And I'm going to hold off getting very aggressive until I get past, I guess, the first hour and a half tomorrow. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But, if you look across the board, everything seems to be pretty stable where we're trading. And I base that on the fact the S&P opened last night at 59.02. It's 59.06. It's up 4 points. I'm watching gold. Gold, I've been in a corrective mode on gold now for a greater part of, I guess, about a month. From 35.09, it's narrowing in on that 31.20 area that I identified as, some major support down there. So maybe gold is going to roll back into the crosshairs in a little bit. Anybody got any questions they want to ask? John, we got any slides?
No, Tom, we didn't talk about any slides, but we got the ones from earlier, of course.
Well, we don't have any slides. Why don't we just open it up for questions? Because I'll be back tonight at 8, but right now, I don't see anything other than I guess sideways action. I thought it might break out. It got a little bit higher in RB4, but we're staying below, Genesis and this morning. If you go back to yesterday afternoon when we peaked, we've sort of been consolidating. Not much of a painful consolidation, though. I'll say that. John, the TQQ right now, I'm actually long the TQQ, but I'll probably exit that by the end of the day. That'd be sort of my thoughts, exit TQQ by the end of the day. Sort of circle the wagons a little bit going into tomorrow, PPI number. I do have NVIDIA does have a bid. I'm long the stock. I've got a pretty heavy position there. I'll probably cut that down, I saw something about futures went by. Kevin, I would avoid those stocks right now until all that dust settles. They'll be fine, but you got to give it time to digest all the news and where they're at. He's talking about healthcare stocks right now. They're sort of out, you know what I mean. Jonathan, did you see a question about futures?
Yeah, and I wanted to post the link. It's dtitrader.com/futures. The offers on that page are a 3-month, a 7-month, and a 1 year. So the 3-month can act as a trial for you. Somebody was asking for a trial on futures. There you go, 3 months.
Yeah, for the futures, right. I would hold the NVIDIA. When's the expiration date on that, Jonathan? On NVIDIA BuzzFly that she's
We just
talking about.
Yeah, the video BuzzFly we entered yesterday has a expiration out to July monthly.
Yeah, I would hold it. Yeah, we're still in Uber.
Still in everything from yesterday with the exception of AMD, which hit times target this morning. In terms of the option trades we entered yesterday.
Do you have a link for this morning's webinar?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Looks to me like in after hours, I'd wait the after hours, but Palantir is getting some buying here at the close. Palantir is. And like I said, NVIDIA is still the hottest thing out there. It's up 4%. So those are two stocks that look like they got a bid going in to the close, maybe even an after hours. That's Palantir, and that is NVIDIA.
I'll post a recording from this afternoon to the same slides as we had earlier today. Make it easy for everybody.
If y'all want to, we can wait to 3:30. Just put a timer up there and see what we're looking like in 20 minutes. That's going to be an important number, that 3:30 number. Why don't we do that, Jonathan?
Sure, I will pause the
Slides or
recording for
anything.
now. Okay, sure. I'll pause the recording for now, so you don't have to wait 20 minutes in the recording. And I'll put a timer up.
Okay. I'll see everybody at 3:30. Hey, Jonathan, I had an idea. How about bringing up the TNT Telegram channel? Let's go through, starting last night, everything that happened around, give everybody a little background. Bring that channel up, from the first posting last night. And let me talk about it.
There it is, top of the screen.
Okay, the first thing I did last night in after hours, I said buy NVIDIA. Does everybody see that in TNT last night? And I typed in good to cancel EXTO. I was watching it trade. I said, we ought to buy it. I did buy it. And I said, money flow coming in, target 133, okay, on that trade. And then the posting of what happened in Asia, if you look at it right there, it had a high. Jonathan, read that high. What is it? 59, what is it? 05? For RBE mini?
Yeah, 5905, that's right.
Yeah, so that there tells you if it's trading above that, it's going higher. And that's exactly what happened in the early trading lesson. There's NVIDIA. Where's that NVIDIA right there? 130.50 where we bought it. Pretty good trade, isn't it? Okay. Let's keep going through what happened. What happened next? I said DDI is a secret weapon. Get on board. Roadmap software. I was showing that NVIDIA was bullish. AMD was bullish. Okay. I said AMD's next. Everybody see that? Then MU and Tesla. And then we came on through. Woke up this morning, everything was positive. We made money on those. And then my Magic 5 was NVIDIA, AMD. That was before AMD went up to 121. Tesla was next, MU and QQQ. My pivot number was 59.20. We couldn't get above that. It just kept stalling there. Come on down. Okay. I did my video. I said the sunrise signal said we'll tell the tail. It comes out at 10 after 8. Pivot 59.20. And let's see. Keep coming down, Jonathan. Shows the charts of the key indexes. Okay, and then there's RB2 that happened in Europe. Sunrise signal, sunrise says bullishness on TQQ, stop 69.39. That made you 50 cents on that trade. So far in a night, you got a whole month's worth of service for free if you did any of those trades. That's a pretty good night there. Keep coming down, Jonathan. See what else is there. Oh, we got a daily rundown, talk about news, that kind of stuff. Then you got RB3. Notice that 59.24 was the high. On RB3, that's the first 30 minutes of the cash market. Sort of set the tone. We traded below that, keep going. And there's the afternoon. You got 39, what is that? 59.05 again, Jonathan? 59.05. That's twice that number's popped up on RB, so it's a key number. That's where we're trading right now, going into 330. Market wrap up, and right prior to closing, here's the numbers. Chuck put it, went as high as 17. So 17 is the number. If we go higher, we'll be pushing. And the low number is 93. So it sort of gives you what I love about the TNT, I call it my little research lab. Besides great trades, it's there. It's just pretty good stuff. Okay. And that brings us into the 3:30 time frame. Yeah, if you want to join TNT, I think you just hit dtitrader.com/TNT. And the point being is you got around the clock coverage on the market for ideas and everything else. Great program. Great program. Sort of just spinning around the top right here, isn't it? Jonathan, bring Palantir up. Above 131, write that number down. If you get above 131 tonight, in the after hours, I think I'll put a signal out on Palantir and make a trade there. We'll see. Does everybody see how I got that number? That's your resistance number going into the night. Jonathan, do me a favor. Off the top of your head, I know this is hitting you this way, okay? Yeah, I'm talking about buying the stock tonight. I might buy the stock, Carol, tonight in the after hours. Jonathan, what do you like about the futures trading? Just tell them what you, from your experience, what you like. I know what I like, but what do you like?
Well, I think it provides a real good foundation of education and knowledge of the futures markets, especially for those that are brand new to it and kind of maybe real reserved and scared, for lack of a better word, about futures. They can join the futures program and start to learn. And every lesson that we do is pretty simple, we both think, in terms of the layout of it. Kind of gives you baby steps to get going. And we always recommend start with the micro contracts. Just get your feet wet and then going from there.
Yeah, it's the seven sisters is how I identify what's hot and what's not in the general scheme of things, the big picture. And I do that through the futures program. I think it's very, very, very good to have that kind of information when you're trying to get on the right side of the world. There's four big time frames. There's Asia, then there's Europe, then there's early morning, which starts the cash market, and then you get to second half of the day, which I call the California market. Let me ask some of the people that's in my futures program, what do you like about the way I teach it? Give me some feedback. Get everybody into this act. What do you like about the way I teach futures? Simple, great lessons, and easy to follow. Dave says the simplicity of it helps you with your futures, helps you also with trading stocks, by the way. I don't know if anybody ever told you that. I'll tell you that. So it helps me. Hector, we didn't do slides. What we're doing is using the Keith likes that in futures, you've always got an opportunity in some market, right? And And Edwin says they're 100% scalable. He's right about that. Scalable. For example, if you look at gold right now, RB Gold is 84, the low, and the last trade 77. So if I was trading gold, I'd be up about $700. Put gold in their gold futures. I'll show them what I'm talking about. I didn't trade this. I wish I'd been paying attention. Look at that. It's going into a sale there. Been down to 71, Jonathan. Look at that. I missed that, but look at that trend. I just missed it. That'd been a good trade to the short side. Kathy, you can trade. I don't think you need any special approval to trade the stocks in after hours at Schwab. It would have to get above about 85 to be a failure. Okay, tomorrow's a warning day, so I'm not going to be very aggressive until we get past the first morning tomorrow. And we'll see if it is something we need to be concerned about or not.
I had to cut the recording when we paused earlier, and coming into 3:30, we'll fire the recording back up.
Oh, you got NVIDIA and you got Palantir. Here's what you got. Write these numbers down. You got NVIDIA and the price is 134.86. You got Palantir and the price is 130.20. Those are bullish going into the last hour. See how they hold up. You've got gold at 31.77 bearish. You got crude oil 62.90 bearish. Those are four markets that potentially could be traded if they break. Big news, a lot of, as Jim says, a lot of news tomorrow. You don't want to go. I mean, if you got positions out to July like we did, that's no big deal. But I'm talking about this is where your short-term positions get you in trouble if, in fact, the news goes haywire in the morning. Let's see. What did David say? I print out these reference boards as soon as they come out and lay them next to each other. Also print out the Mag 5, which by itself pays for TNT. At the risk of repeating, but TNT is the best bargain from DTI. Thanks, David, for saying that. Futures, Ed, when I do futures. Well, you got, remember, you got Jay Powell talking tomorrow morning, I think. I think Jay Powell's talking tomorrow morning. His track record's pretty good for the market going down.
I looked earlier this week. It said he would speak at 8:40 Eastern. Let's check again.
8:40 Eastern.
Yeah, I'm gonna check again real quick for tomorrow.
That's good, Dave. A hoof and mouth report by Jay Powell.
Yeah, that's when he's on schedule. He's for 8:40 Eastern tomorrow morning.
Well, there you go. Right after PPI, huh?
Yep.
Probably try to come out and justify when he's not cutting interest rates.
Right. I'm sure.
I did like that, Dave. I did like that. You made me laugh. Yeah, I'd watch that flash video we did today at noon. It's pretty. It was an overview of a lot of the reasons that MTI by DTI and the roadmap are so important to your success. David Davis says, my suggestion of Tesla, put him up 10%. Way to go. No, the position's up 35%. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. Way to go, David. Nice trade. Yeah, I got some Tesla. I'm happy. We won't catch all. Let me tell you, we're like a great baseball player. We don't take it. We don't swing at everything, but when we do, we usually connect. Our on base percentage is fantastic. And right now, we're taking pitches until we see the strike that we want to hit tomorrow. That's the way I think about the day. Had such a great week, haven't we? Goodness gracious. You know, part of, and this is important to know, but part of your success is having the discipline to sit there with the hands off the mouse. It's easy to trade, easy to see a trade you think's a trade just because you want to trade. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times you're better off just watching and observing. That's what a real speculator will do when it's not just so clear. Oh, it's very difficult just to watch. Absolutely. Well, tomorrow, PPI, and then after PPI, we got another run. Should be good for another week, is what I'm thinking. The market's up about what, 4% for the month? That's not having a bad month. Tell me, what are some of the common questions you get about the roadmap?
Well, most of the time it's why isn't this feature working? And that's a case by case scenario, but usually it's a bad ticker symbol or haven't entered any symbols into the tables yet.
What about the how to use it? You get any questions about how to use it?
Sure, and that's kind of a loaded question. So what I normally would do is remind people to show up to my afternoon session on Tuesday and Thursday from 4:15 to 5, and also to review the probably 100 videos we already have for you inside the One Click Trading membership area. Astro, I just answered your question for you in the chat. You should see that. Same answer Tom will give you. When you sell a put spread, the way to make money is you buy it back later at a lower price. But the way that happens is if the underlying stock goes higher or at least stays above your strikes by expiration time, you'll be able to realize the majority, if not the full value of your credit put spread. If you need to learn more about option spreads or credit put spreads, you can head over to the membership area, which is oneclicktrading.com. Of course, you got to get signed in. And then go to one of your programs. And let's choose TNT, since Tom's talked about that a good bit. T-Bus Talk and Trade. Whatever program you go to, though, scroll to the very bottom, and you have a DTI's resources sheet. Actually, what I'm going to point you to is this options made simple at the very bottom. Every single one of Tom's programs inside One Click should have an options made simple. And inside that options made simple, oh, where'd it go? Anyways, inside that options made simple course is a video on credit spreads. That'd be real good for you to go through, Astro. Most of the questions that you have, we can address it live, but if we're not live, you're most likely going to find the answer on one of our resources, which all of the membership areas with Tom have the same resources. So just take a scroll through. Maybe if you're on the weekend, you get a question, take a scroll through, see if you can find it. There it is right here, credit spreads. You have a chance to watch the video, and you even have a chance to download slides here. Good little website they made for options made simple.
Folks, we've done a real decent job trying to get people educated, but you got to take it upon yourself sometimes. Can't, because you can't anticipate what's the blockage you're having, connecting A to B. And, we assume that if you're going to put money on the line in the market, that you're going to try to bring your knowledge up to know how to use the platform that you're using, put the trades in, have some plan of the stages you want to go as you grow as an investor / trader. This is not I think sometimes people think it's like a convenience store. You pull up, and, hey, order me $1,000 in profit. Doesn't work that way. You gotta know when to get in, when to get out. I see a big difference. Let me tell you this. I meet with people individually. I see a big difference of the people that have learned how to use the roadmap software, and people that's learned how to use MTI, and people that are in some of the key programs where there's a lot of education. And if you're new, one of the best programs I got, I don't talk about it as much as I probably should, is my Power program, which is on Tuesday, and we pick 5 stocks for the week. And but and you see the power of this approach just by looking at this week's top 10. That was huge. What we figured, 24,000? And that's not aggressive. That's just participating and listening. That's big money. Most people would love to have just a piece of that. Then, of course, it comes down to you have the discipline to do the work, get paid, so to speak. I've seen a lot of people blow up accounts because they would not take the time to have the roadmap software. They would put up the money to have the right tool, and they were like lost ball in the high weeds. That's funny. Every percent are to create Tom stop and shop in trade. Well, Jonathan, I don't have anything else. I'll be back tonight at 8. I'm gonna do some work, try to figure out what's next. What are they gonna do? Clearly, as we count down to Memorial Day weekend, there's a lot of opportunity, and I want to take advantage of it. So I got to do some more work. Find out where biggest reward, lowest risk opportunities are. That's what I'm looking for.
Great. This opportunity right now of the market waiting for news gives everybody the chance to study up, be prepared for the next time.
That's right. And that news comes at 8:30 tomorrow, but I'll be paying attention to the sunrise signal before that. I can promise you that. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, everybody. See you tonight at 8. Don't be late.